Alright, so why is gaming better than doomscrolling, right? Recently, I challenged myself to put a limit on how much I use social media, right? I pretty much put 20 minutes a day on both TikTok and Instagram, and over a couple days, first of all, when I first started doing it, it was extremely hard. I noticed the behaviors right away. I would open up my phone, and immediately my thumbs would just open up TikTok and Instagram, right? But obviously the apps would be locked, and I'd be like, dang, I was really doing that. So for the first couple days, it was extremely hard to get rid of that habit. If you're gonna get into this, getting away from doom scrolling and getting away from the social media trap, your first couple days are gonna be the hardest. But I pretty much have a 20-minute timer on both apps, and I use it for checking personal DMs twice a day, right? I'll check what my friends are. I'm using social media for the social aspect, and I'll quickly respond to DMs and stuff, whether it's business or personal. Like I said, at first, I was extremely bored, constantly found myself either trying to open the apps and figuring out, oh wait, I'm blocked on the apps, or finding different ways to entertain myself. And at first, it was the typical doing your productive tasks, doing your reading, doing exercise, but those only take up so much time in the day. And this is the part that they don't tell you about in these YouTube videos that you watch. You've probably watched a couple of these, but you sleep for 8 hours a day. That leaves you 16 hours in a day to do what you need to do, right? Especially on an off day. Hopefully you have a job, but on a day off, you have 16 hours to do what you have to do, right? You realistically can't be productive for 16 hours a day. I work out about 2 hours in that day. I'll read for about 30 minutes to an hour. I'll study for about 30 minutes to an hour. I'll clean my room. I'll create task lists. And even then, I'm only taking about 4, maybe 5 hours out of my day in the morning time usually to get things done, right? So then it comes down to what do you do next, right? And unless you're working on an extremely involved project, or if you're working 7 days a week or so, every human needs a way to wind down, right? Everybody needs a way to entertain themselves. Humans have done it all of ages, just dating back to the caveman times. Humans need ways to entertain themselves, right? And I finally started to pick up gaming again, right? I've always played a match here and there and then scrolled on my phone. I'll turn on my PS5 or turn on my laptop and I'll open the game and I might even play a match, but then I would catch myself just scrolling, right? But now I didn't have that wait in the home screen scrolling. And I will say picking up gaming again has been the most satisfactory feeling ever, right? And follow me in this video because you're gonna see where the healthy habits start to pick up. But I started to pick up games again, and I found that I was way more immersed in these games, took my time a lot more, and was way more involved in these games than I ever have been, how I was when I was a kid. And that's because my brain wasn't constantly going through the TikTok scrolling, Instagram scrolling. My brain is now moving a lot more patiently and a lot more slower, right? So I found that when I immersed myself into a good single player game like Red Dead Redemption or Witcher 3, my brain reacted in a way more positive response, way more productive way versus a dopamine scrolling feeling. Like I just finished up playing The Witcher 3. I got bored, so now I'm back to my productive tasks. And that hour, I was genuinely just on the horse, just going through the valleys and just exploring and not even caring about the quest. And I haven't done that in a video game so long. I don't know if you guys have done that, but nowadays when I play video games, my brain isn't even there and I'm trying to speed run the game almost. But I just finished playing and it was such a good experience. I was learning the game, I was going through my inventory, sorting things out, making everything neat, and just taking side quests instead of main quests. It was the most immersive experience, and that's because my brain is now on the latter end of how it used to be. And the brain response is way more productive. It's way better. And also, you don't need that 6 to 8 hour scrolly feeling that's so addictive. 1 to 2 hours and I am completely satisfied. I feel great. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. And I'll pick it up again for 30 minutes to an hour and then go back to doing my productive stuff. Taking a second in the game and really diving into it and immersing yourself in the world is way better than playing a Fortnite match and just scrolling on TikTok in the corner or putting a YouTube video on in the background and your brain is just focusing on 3 different things at once. Choose a game. I'm gonna get into this later in the video, but you choose one game and you immerse yourself into it, you're gonna see that it's way more of a satisfactory feeling. Immersing yourself into this game is gonna also help you enjoy the game more, right? I'm not worried about finishing The Witcher. I'm just more concerned or more involved in the fact that the game has a deep and rich storyline, and that could go for any video game, right? And I haven't had that in so long. So if you're watching this video and you're seeking that classic feeling you used to get when you would play video games as a kid, and you just be, I remember when I was a kid, I used to be so immersed and so into it, but I started to get into social media and all that, and I started to doom scroll, my brain just wouldn't focus, that I lost that. But now I'm getting it back, and it is the most healthy feeling ever. And like I said, that 1 to 2 hours is all that I seek when it comes to gaming, and it helps keep that addictive feeling away when it comes to doom scrolling. Your brain is just much more patient, right? But you look at social media, you look at how all this stuff works, and your brain is constantly adapting and learning something new every 5 to 10 seconds when you're scrolling, right? And that is not healthy for your brain at all. If your brain is constantly just trying to learn something new or adapt into a new situation every 5 to 10 seconds, it's going to ruin your brain, which is why I implore that you practice phone discipline and you practice putting timers on your apps and staying true to these timers and picking up these bad behaviors and replacing them with something else. I finally hit a 30-minute mark on reading my book the other day. I finally read a book for 30 minutes. And that sounds like so stupid. The normal, not even the normal guy, but the above average productive guy is probably watching this and they're like, dang, only 30 minutes? But the average person can't even read 2 pages of a book without putting it down and getting distracted. And that is a horrific thing for our brains. It's so bad in today's society that we can't even think for ourselves, especially with the use of AI and them making decisions for you. We are losing the ability to think, and we're losing the ability to make decisions more and more as technology gets stronger, right? So if you choose to pick up that you have these bad habits, you're going to be ahead of the average man. You're going to be ahead in general when it comes to being smarter, being stronger. I was at the gym today, and I don't know, my brain is just so much more patient ever since I put the stop on my social medias. I was in the gym for 2 hours lifting. Genuinely, since I wasn't lifting and then scrolling, I was lifting and sitting down. I had music on, but I was lifting and sitting down, and I was staring at the ground, just digesting the set that I just did, and just feeling the pain, feeling like the muscle connection, and like, all right, a minute is up, let's do the next set. And I'm so much more productive in all areas of my life since I put that timer on my social media. But some tips if you're going to replace social media with gaming as your entertainment, right? Because you need entertainment. That just doesn't exist. I don't care what video I watch. There is no human out there that just sits down and wakes up and just boom, machine. That it just doesn't exist. But what I did to replace social media with healthy gaming was I found one game, and this is from this channel, Dom's Gaming channel. Took the advice and it worked so well. Find one video game, preferably single player with a story and stuff, and get into it for a week. Make that your scrolling, right? Choose one game and you're like, this is the only game I'm gonna play. Don't allow yourself to make all those decisions of, I got 10 games I want to get into. No, choose one of them and get into it. Just literally make that your game for the week, or at least put 10 hours into the game, right, in a week. And obviously how you react to it, you go on from there. I'm loving The Witcher, so I'm probably going to play it for longer than a week. But make that your scrolling, make that your book, your entertainment, right? You will see that you're going to naturally get bored quicker and find satisfaction in other things like catching up with friends or even doing your productive tasks, because your brain it's going to naturally start to crave being productive more often than not, because your brain just has so much more space for other things now. But find one game for a week, make that your scrolling, make that your dopamine, and immerse yourself into the game. Don't rush it. Don't try to beat it as fast as you can. Literally get into the side quest, get into upgrading your character, and you're gonna see how good you feel and just how much more patient you're gonna be in the process. And like I said, other areas of your life is gonna improve as well. You're gonna see that you're gonna execute a lot more on other projects. I'm back into YouTube now, which is awesome. I'm back into studying. I studied for 45 minutes today, and your brain is just gonna have so much more room for other areas of your life to be more productive. But that's why gaming is better than doom scrolling. Make sure to put the phone down. Make sure to choose other things other than your social media, TikTok, Instagram. There's so much more to life than your 9-hour screen time, and it's an epidemic that we definitely need to make sure we fight. And especially if you want to be successful in this life, it is not that hard. You just need to do something about it, and that includes me too. I'm finally doing something about it. Just do the task. It doesn't feel good in the moment, but you're gonna feel that satisfaction later on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to comment. Please subscribe. Goal is 1,300 subs. I know we could get there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.